Max Verstappen, the Dutch superstar whose passion for motorsport rivals his undeniable skill on the track. The Red Bull racing driver, currently at the peak of his career, is caught in a web of speculation about his future in the fastest category on the planet. But here's the detail that makes fans' hearts race even faster. There seems to be a special connection between him and an iconic figure from Mercedes, someone who was essential to Lewis Hamilton's success. Yes, we're talking about Peter Bonnington, also known as Bono, the race engineer who has become synonymous with excellence in F1. The idea of Verstappen and Bono working together is not only intriguing, but also filled with exciting possibilities. Could this partnership redefine the balance of power in F1? And more importantly, would Verstappen really trade his loyalty to Red Bull for a chance to be part of another legend? Let's briefly go back to the 2024 British Grand Prix weekend, where the pieces of this puzzle began to fall into place. Max Verstappen, as determined as ever, delivered an impressive performance during qualifying. He secured pole position, his fourth of the season, with a majestic lap that left everyone speechless. It looked like Red Bull was regaining control, overcoming recent setbacks with technical mastery. However, not everything was as perfect as it seemed. The team opted for a risky setup, lowering the downforce on Verstappen's car. This choice had a clear goal: to boost his straight-line speed, making him nearly unbeatable in dry conditions. But F1's unpredictable nature showed its claws when the rain came. Suddenly, Verstappen's car was chronically lacking grip, turning his drive into a real test of nerves. To make matters worse, he made a rare mistake, something so uncommon that it was shocking. After the safety car restart, the Dutchman spun, compromising his position in the race. Despite that, he managed to recover and finish fifth, showing his trademark resilience. But the damage was done. Nearly 70 points behind the championship leader. These kinds of slip-ups can be costly. And that raises a crucial question. Could this difficult weekend have further shaken Verstappen's confidence in Red Bull? Or is he starting to look toward other opportunities, especially ones involving big names like Peter Bonnington? To understand the weight of this story, we need to dive into Peter Bonnington's role in F1. If you've followed the sport for some time, you know Bono isn't just any engineer. He's the mastermind behind many of Lewis Hamilton's victories, helping the Brit win 6 world titles in 7 consecutive seasons between 2014 and 2020. His relationship with Hamilton was so deep that after last year's emotional British GP win, the 7-time world champion declared through tears, "I love you, Bono." That radio message perfectly captured the unbreakable bond between the two. Now, imagine Bonnington alongside another F1 giant, Max Verstappen. That would be like bringing together 2 stars from different galaxies to create something entirely new. According to journalist Eric Van Haren, who recently spoke with an F1 engineer in Austria, Verstappen is extremely interested in working with Bonnington should he decide to move to Mercedes. If you were Max Verstappen and could pick 3 race engineers to work with, you'd definitely name Simon Rennie, GP Giampiero Lambiase, and Bono, said Van Haren. This revelation is fascinating for several reasons. First, it shows Verstappen has a clear vision of the kind of technical support he wants in his next F1 chapter. Second, it indicates he sees value in learning from someone who's experienced massive success with another legendary driver. And third, it opens the door to even bolder speculation. Would Bonnington be willing to leave Kimi Antonelli, his current partner at Mercedes, to team up with Verstappen? Rumors suggest Mercedes might even consider loaning out Antonelli to free up Bono, creating a potentially explosive combination. One thing is certain: whatever decision Verstappen makes will have massive implications. He's been with Red Bull since 2014, building an incredible journey over the years. Leaving now would mean saying goodbye to many close allies, including Giampiero Lambiase, his longtime race engineer. Some say Lambiase is irreplaceable for Verstappen, and Eric Van Haren agrees. Honestly, I think it's almost impossible to bring him to Mercedes. Never say never in this world, but GP holds a key position and has a solid contract with Red Bull. That puts Verstappen in a complex dilemma. On one hand, he has a familiar setup at Red Bull, where he knows every operational detail and works with people he trusts. On the other hand, Mercedes offers something different, the chance to make history with a new team under the guidance of renowned figures like Toto Wolff and Peter Bonnington. There's also the human side of this transition. Switching teams isn't just about signing contracts. It involves cultural adaptation, new working dynamics, and inevitably, personal challenges. Verstappen, known for his direct and competitive personality, would have to navigate these unfamiliar waters while trying to maintain his exceptional performance. What makes this situation even more thrilling is the potential impact it could have on the future of F1. Imagine a Mercedes team led by Verstappen and Bonnington. It would be like watching a symphony of talent and strategy, where every puzzle piece fits perfectly. And think about the ripple effects on the historic rivalry between Red Bull and Mercedes. If Verstappen really leaves, Christian Horner and Helmut Marko will face a major challenge to replace him. Who could possibly fill the shoes of such a dominant world champion? On the other hand, if Verstappen stays at Red Bull, it would likely further strengthen his partnership with Lambiase, solidifying the team as an unbeatable force in the coming years. But the central question remains, how far does Verstappen's ambition go? He's a driver who constantly seeks new challenges, and Mercedes represents a one-of-a-kind opportunity to explore uncharted territory. As we anxiously await Max Verstappen's next move, one thing is clear. We're witnessing a pivotal moment in F1 history. Every statement, every decision, and every negotiation has the potential to dramatically shift the landscape of the sport. If Verstappen does choose to join Mercedes, it will mark the beginning of a new era, full of possibilities and renewed rivalries. But no matter what happens, one thing is guaranteed. F1 fans are about to experience thrilling new chapters, full of drama, strategy, and passion. And at the center of it all will be Max Verstappen, a driver whose destiny seems tied not only to the curves of the racetrack, but also to the corridors behind the scenes, where the biggest decisions are made.